when we talk about Steven Crowder, right, the driving force, I think, behind Steven Crowder's entire sort of public persona is a function of him feeling insecure about his own masculinity and trying to prove to his dad that he's actually a real man. I mean, I think that's almost everything about Crowder's public visage is that. It is the gun that he wears. It is that, the mocking of trans people.
While still dressing up like them because he definitely doesn't enjoy it, but it's just, to perform it and show something.
I think like there's a flip side of the coin. When you're trying to prove your masculinity to your dad, there must be something inside of you that makes you feel that there's something, there's some deficit that you're showing.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. But, whether it's the obsessive weightlifting to the point where it causes him health concerns, it seems like, or the idea of I can't get into a debate with somebody who's I'm going to lose to in some way. So I'm going to go only debate. Not really debate college students. That's Steven Crowder's thing. Mm-hmm. But Dave Rubin's just stupid. That's what animates everything he does. A complete lack of knowledge and a desire to be, I think, a celebrity on some level. And so he'll say or do anything and also be completely oblivious. Ladies and gentlemen, you've seen Dave Rubin. Why don't we play the Dave Rubin circling the wagons? Do you know what it means to circle the wagons, folks?
Yeah. But do we have that?
Yeah, it's a tweet, actually, if you can put that up.
Yeah, put this up.
He keeps getting this stuff wrong.
Circling the wagons.
The communicator. But
incidentally, this is his primary job.
Yes.
That is to communicate things. Bad move for conservatives to be circling the wagons around Bill Maher right now. He's the last mainstream liberal, calls out his own side and defends free speech. Take him out, and it all gets worse, including for you. Now,
I think this is around a Bill Maher N-word incident.
Fair enough. And circling the wagons is the way that you protect somebody in between the wagon. The idea was that when pioneers were under assault, they would circle the wagons and create almost a makeshift fort,
a defensive perimeter.
Yes, a defensive perimeter. And then he came back and he said, a couple of folks correctly saying my wagons analogy isn't quite right here.
Not quite.
It's not quite right.
It's actually the exact opposite.
Right. It's not quite right in the same way that saying this is down and this is up is not quite right. This is being up and this being down.
When I told you to take
up, down,
I told you to take a left. It wasn't quite right.
What I meant was take a right, but it didn't mean take. Should be more like sharks circling, he went on to say. Okay, yes. And I love it. And fair enough. That's I wanted to say fair enough. I love the fact how defensive he gets there. What I meant to say, instead of circling the wagons, I meant to mean circling the sharks. Because, people can train sharks to circle people. But here he is, ladies and gentlemen, using, now he's going into, this is tricky territory. Mm-hmm. And look, we all have malapropisms. There's one right there.
There we go.
Occam's razor is not what Dave Rubin thinks it is.
Well, John, let me give you another razor, Occam's razor. If something can go wrong, it will. And that basically is the tagline for this administration. Let me do two things for your producers right now, because I know you guys like to fiddle with the Chiron when I'm on. Can I be called Gen X expert, or if they want to be really pithy,
yes,
Gen Expert?
We're going to call this
with the dash,
the Gen X report. We're going to get all those titles in there, because I say this all the time, the snarkiness and indifference and scorn that Gen X is so known for, that's going to save this country.
Yeah, I've been saying all the time.
All we got at this point. So that was my first request.
The complete allergy to the understanding of the words you're saying. I think he was talking about Murphy's Law.
Yeah, Occam's razor is that the simplest explanation is usually the correct one. Murphy's Law is what he articulated there.
Occam's razor, Murphy's Law.
Yeah.
I mean, just wonder how many other concepts have Dave been working under?
We've covered this. I thought, like, I saw this clip kind of came out on Friday afternoon, and I just thought, like, I want to do an advanced search of our videos because there are a variety of like philosophical concepts and standard phrases that he's botched with great confidence behind his eyes in many contexts.
And let's be clear, this is a guy who made his entire online persona around the idea that he was a classical liberal. In other words, like all of his kind of like misunderstanding about sort of the basic tenets of everything was the foundational element of his entire online presence.
I am an academic who has my roots in these like very highfalutin concepts about politics that I am well researched on and completely get, and he doesn't understand like basic phrases in that area. It's hard to artificially inflate yourself as an academic in politics when you don't necessarily have any background in that area, and also flub simple phrases.
Pretty low-hanging fruit.
Pretty low-hanging fruit, and maybe don't use it. He was a little too excited about his secondary joke that was coming about him being the spokesperson for Gen X. So he botched it.
Gen Expert.